The women at the 2021 NHK trophy. Again, the women in this event had me in my feelings. And this time it wasn't the judging. I want to ask a serious question. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or funny, but rather I am genuinely concerned. Is there a government agency in Russia that protects children? Something similar to what the Americans have, like ACS, I think, Administration for Children's Service, something like that? Because, and this is only my opinion, but it seems like some of these parents are chasing fortune and fame on the back of their children, while the coaching staff could care less about these children since they have more than enough to spare. Daria Usacheva was training in pain to the point that she became injured. And somehow that's her fault for not saying anything? As if in a training environment where one of the main staff has the freedom to go to the media and label their skater as difficult and lazy, you really want me to think that a 15-year old Daria would have been in a position to let anyone know that she is injured in that environment? This is a team that thinks the perfect student is one that eats two shrimp and is full. This is the camp that adds point for laziness if you gain weight. And yet, this was Daria's fault for not saying anything. Given the environment, given the policies, you really think it's this 15-year-old's place to know that she's able to speak up for herself? I pray that Aljona Kostanaya continues to be lazy and not listen, because at least that way she will have a chance of leaving Sambo 70 on her own 2 feet. Anyways, having had my rant, I will now discuss the event at hand. Of course, my picks were all wrong for this event. Even though I had 7 out of the 8 in the top 8, which I guess is not that hard, the placement that I had them in greatly varied. The only skater that I had in the top 8 that didn't make the top 8 was Su Young Wee. This was a very difficult outing for Wee, and she finished in ninth. She placed after Nicole Schwartz from Germany, who came in eighth and had a really, really good showing at this event. Coming in at first, and I had her in third, and again, I was very pleasantly surprised by her victory, was Kaori Sakamoto. I still think both of her programs are not really Olympic programs and really not programs that I like. However, her skating and her personality is delightful. She has big jumps, nice ass ice coverage, deep edges. There is definitely something special about Kawi when she's on the ice. And it would have been great if she had programs that really made the most of those special strength of hers. This was definitely a great outing for Kaori, which will really help her chances with making the Japanese ladies team. And the Japanese ladies field is very deep. So any assistant that a skater can get is great. And a gold medal at NHK is the best assistant ever. Congratulations to Kaori. Coming in second, another surprise was Mana Kawabi. Honestly, after her performance at Skate Canada, I didn't even have her in my top 8. Yet I was proven wrong. In front of a home audience, Kawabe delivered in the short program with a beautiful triple axel. Then in the long, the triple axel got away from her, but she didn't give up, and the rest of the jumps were okay. Kawa, um, Kawabe has that leg wraparound jumping style that I'm not really a fan of. However, her reaction to her placement in the case and cry was quite cute. I really have to see how stable she becomes with the triple axel before I can really have an opinion on where she is in terms of that Olympic team. Coming in third place, and I had her in first, is Yu Young. Um, Although she was second in the long program, it just wasn't enough to give her a silver because she was third in the short program. You took a fall on her triple axel both in the short and the long program. Unfortunately, after the fall, you sort of kind of gave up a little on the long program. And I feel like the team really has to reevaluate that. Because while the triple axel is important, I think the team needs to focus on her overall skating. All her spins were level 3, and that is a lot of point that she is leaving on the table. Add to that, her step sequence is also a level 3. Had she gotten all of those points, it would have been enough to get her the silver here. I'm not too sure, but I believe with 2 bronze medal, you should make it to the Grand Prix. However, we will have to see. These two performances again were not bad outing. They definitely will not hurt Yu's chance at making the Korean women team. She still seems to be their most solid skater right now. So we'll just have to wait and see how things play out at their national. And fourth, I had her in fourth, was Alyssa Liu. Um, the US is definitely sending Alyssa Liu to the Olympic. Because really, who else are they sending? At this pace, I feel like Alyssa will win another US title and make her way to the Olympic as the leading US lady. I feel like Alyssa has grown a lot this season, both physically and as a skater. There's a lot of joy and perkiness to her skating, which I really, really like. Unfortunately, those under rotated jumps are just really keeping her down. I feel like if her team can find a way to give her a little more height so that those jumps can be a little more rotated, the judges would probably be more willing to go with her on the PC. Um, I had Amber Glenn as high as fifth. Unfortunately, this was a very difficult outing for her. Amber was tense and nervous, causing her to either double or just completely fall out of her jumps in the long program. She was eighth in the long program, coming in seventh overall. This was not the showing that Amber needed, and this will not help get her a spot on the U.S. Ladies Olympic team. Having said that, the other ladies on the US team are also struggling, so this doesn't completely take her out of the running, but I don't feel like it's helping her case. The triple axel just was nowhere to be found at this event, and not only the triple axel, but also all of her other jumps. This was very difficult outing for Amber Glenn. Um, Rino Matsuki rounded out the top six for the ladies. I had placed her in seventh place, but she did me one better. This was not a clean debut for Reno. However, she has great jumping technique, and I think that will take her really far. I'm really looking forward to see how she grow only because her jumping technique is so well rounded. And I left the best for last, Miss M. Sulem, a surprise fifth place finish. The diva for our mamas, Miss Lem. The short was cleaner than she was in Italy, although Emsu doubled the triple toe and her triple flip triple toe combo. Aside from the jump, the performance was on point. The long was a little more messy, and Sue had no triple triple combination in the program, and she lost concentration during her step sequence. However, this was still an improvement over last week. I really want to see Sue at the Olympic. However, I don't think there's enough time for her to win over her federation. Let me know what were your thoughts on what happened with the women's discipline. Leave me a comment.